Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here again. In this video, I want to continue using the pen tool in Vectr. There was a few things that I learned since it was yesterday or day before, whenever I did this video, and I want to share some of the things that I learned. Okay, so when I was drawing, I was having a little bit of problems. One of them was to mirror. I didn't know how to mirror, and then I later found out. And also, when I was drawing, the vector pen kept on snapping to particular parts of the image. And I'm going to show you how to fix that problem. So here we go. First of all, when I was showing y'all how to draw a heart, like this one right here, when I was showing you, when I was trying to mirror it, I showed you a different way that there's an easier way. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I want to put this heart down here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that guy. Okay, so if you have a heart and you want to mirror it, excuse me, if you want to draw one part of it and mirror it, then one thing you could do is this. First of all, you want this to be right in the center, like this point and this point. If that's where you're going to stop, you want those to be pretty close to each other so that whenever you combine the one drawing that we're going to draw with the other one that we're going to copy and paste and then group together, then you want it to be straight down the center. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. You see this little icon right here, it says snapping. If you click on it, it turns into grid and snapping. If you click on it again, it's going to say none, right? So again, you got snapping, grid, and snapping, or you can just hit G, see, and that's and you can see the icon change down there. Okay, so if I hit G again, you see it has that none, and then so if I hold my mouse here and I hit G, it tells you that it's snapping, and then if you click again, it's grid and snapping. And now I'm going to explain what all that means. Okay, so right now we got grid and snapping. Okay, so we have a grid here. So if I wanted to draw half of it, like I was explaining, it has to be pretty aligned in these 2 points. Okay, and so if you put your lines, you can go ahead and just have a line so you know where the center of it is. Okay, so so let me go ahead and draw one side of this. So I'm going to go to my pen tool. Okay, and we know it's activated because there's that line there. So I'm going to start drawing this, and right now as we start drawing, you see I can move my mouse around a little bit right here, and it doesn't move that little square, the white square. Is because it's snapping to that line. It's also snapping to like certain areas, like it was especially there. If you notice, I can move my mouse, and it keeps it straight horizontally, and it's hard to get to a certain area other than where I'm selecting because it's snapping to that line. So we're going to do it with the snapping, and like I said, we're going to do one side. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to mirror it, and then I'm going to combine them together. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to click here. Now You see right now the line is black. I want to change that line to, I'm going to turn the, oh, excuse me, that was the border. Okay, so let's go to the border. Let's go to red. Okay, it's just easier. Uh, and let's change it to 0.02. Okay, and I'm going to click off and on. That way I know. So when I click, like let's say right here, and drag, you see it turns it red. So like I explained before, I try to keep this line straight. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Um, sorry about that. Okay, so now, now I'm going to put my next one here, and I'm going to click and drag, go down here, and it's going to snap to that, so I could go up and down, right? So I'll snap to it, and now you see this line up here at the top. That means my next circle is going to be higher than what I want it to be, but we're not going to worry about that, okay? So if I release and come down here, all I have to do is make sure that I go far enough. You see, like if I go there, you see how weird it looks? You want to go far enough to at least get most of it. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag. My advertisement, for some reason, when it changes, it's changing my, it's enlarging and reducing my canvas. So I'm having a little bit of problem. I think every time I see my advertising change, it kind of throws this off on my view. So let me just click and drag, and then I'm just gonna click right there, and I want to snap to that line, okay? Because remember, I want to mirror this. So I'm gonna click here, and you can either hit escape or enter. Enter is probably better to deselect the pen tool, right? So let's go ahead and kind of clean this up right here. So if I double click, um, I, I want to click here. I don't want to affect the left, so I'm going to hold my control. You see that thing keeps on jumping. I'll figure that one out, and I'll let you know what's causing it. I think it's the advertisement. Uh, but if I hold my control key or command for an Apple, if I click, and you see I can just do this one side. So that looks pretty good. And hit enter, and it's pretty smooth. Now right here it looks a little off. So let me go ahead and do that, because we're going to do two of them, and I want this part to look good. So so if I click here, and that little circle turns, or square turns solid, then I can move this a little bit and kind of smooth it out, and that looks better. Or I could even just click on it again and just even make this a little smoother, just like that. Hit enter, and now that looks pretty smooth. Now I'm going to duplicate. You see, I knew it was the advertising. I got to figure out how to this thing keep from doing that. It's probably because they want me to buy the full version, because this is a free version, and I'm seeing my screen change when I see my advertising change. So like I said, I'll figure that out. Look, I'm gonna move that away from this one down here, right? And I'm gonna put this one down here. So first, I'm gonna hit Control C, then I'm gonna hit Control V. That's copy, and V is V is pretty universal with a lot of programs. So that means paste. Before I showed y'all that you could go in here and mirror it that way, right? Uh, well, it's easier than doing, there's an easier way. So if I click here and I right click, excuse me, here, click here, and you see flip vertical, you can flip horizontal or you can flip vertical. So horizontal is going to do that, right? Let's say if I wanted to flip it vertical, it would do that. But that's not what we want. We want to flip it horizontal. Now, all I have to do is click right here and just snap to that right there, right? So to join those two together is real easy. All you would have to do is select both of them. Oh, before I do that, let me show you what the problem is. So if I click here and I fill it with yellow, you see only uh, that one filled, and this one didn't. So I'm going to hit Control Z, and there's another Control Z is universal for almost any program. 99.9 of the, and I know a bunch of programs. Control Z usually undo, and usually Control Y or Control uh, Shift Z will redo what you did. But anyway, so if I select both of them, you see right here where it says Unite. If you click on it, it united those two. So if I click here and I fill my color to, let's say, purple or whatever color that is, dark blue, you see how it filled it? It's because now it's one item. Now, you will have little issues like, look right here. You see right here? You see that little tick right there? That's easy to fix. Now, if you double click, it's real hard to figure out what's going on there, right? But if you go to your border and change that to, let's say, 0.1 or even 0.01, then it's a lot easier to figure out where your points are. This one here is hard because the points are so close to each other that let me see if I can do this. Because the points, I was hoping that it didn't. So I'm going to click here, double click, right? And I'm going to start deleting those points. Because there's a bunch of them, right? So all I'm doing, there you go. Now it's a sharp image. And we're going to hit Control 0 to fit in. So that is how you do that. The thing with snapping is sometimes you don't want it to snap, okay? Because sometimes it's hard to control your pen tool. Now, let me show you something about the grid. So we're going to go to the grid, okay? You see right now how many lines, horizontal, vertical, and horizontal there is? You can change that. If you click here under settings, where it says snap pixels, see you got grid block size, or basically grid size, right? 20 pixels. Look, I'm going to change that to 2. Okay, now you see how many pixels there is now, or how many grids there is? A bunch of them, right? And this is a 20 block. In other words, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 per block. So if we go down here and you see there, actually there's 8. There's 8 per block. Now let's say if you want to change the size of those pixels to 4, you would just click 4, and then there would be 4 blocks. Okay, so let me show you what kind of problems you would have by doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to draw this part of the Apple logo. If I go to my pen tool and I try to get right in this area, it's not going to let me put exactly where I want to because it is snapping to grids. So you see right here, I'm actually trying to, if you're not real accurate, if you're not good at drawing, then you would try, or let's try to, you see, if I try to get close to that, it won't let me because it tries to snap to this area, right? So that's the bad thing about using snapping and using a grid, because you see it tries to snap to it. So what you do is you can hit G, and right now you can see that it doesn't have nothing. Now you don't snap to anything. You see how I can control it? Now watch this. If I hit G and hit G again, you see it starts snapping to areas that I don't want it, and it's hard to control it. So uh, I personally don't like to use the grid snapping because I don't want it to snap to anything. I want to have control over it. Okay, so that's I just wanted to show y'all that. Now I'm going to create another video. Let me escape out of there. I'm going to create another video. It's almost goes in line with what we're doing now, but it's going to be a video about layers. Real briefly, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like you see that is on top of that. So this is one layer, this is another layer. Now if I grab this, you see how the layer is at the bottom. I'm not going to go over this too much, but you know, if there's ways to bring these layers to the front. You see how I brought it to the front, took it to the left, to the back. See, so there's more to it than that. So watch my videos on layering, and it'll the video will say vector, vector, and it'll have the word layers in it. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, and watch my other videos about layering. And in addition, I'm going to go over every single one of these tools. Again, thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you on the next video.